So, give me an example of a project you did in this space, which is probably related to the role that you are potentially applying to. Now, some companies prefer the STAR method, which is basically situation, task, action, result. Uh, you could use this if you wish, if that's something that you're used to answering questions in. But personally, for me, this is not my preferred way of answering a question that's more open in terms of a project that you worked on or stuff like that. I think, and again, my personal opinion is that's because I think the boundary between tasks and actions is a little gray, and you tend to talk about tasks in one way and actions in one way. But if you're very comfortable looking at and formats like that, then just go ahead and use that. But personally, I would say the best way to answer such questions would be, one, to define the business problem. So what is the problem that you are looking to solve? Like, why did the project even exist? Two is talk about your approach to the solution. So, how did you approach the solution? What was the solution? Then, three, talk about any tools and technologies that you used. And if you want to combine it with the approach, do that. But definitely mention the tools and technologies that you used. Uh, Especially if it was more in the data science business analytics space, or if it's in the software engineering space, or if it's something that's technology related. Three, talk about what challenges did you face and how did you overcome them. So talk about anything that you had in terms of roadblocks, and uh, how did you overcome some of these roadblocks. Because one thing interviewers look for is definitely they want to see, okay, you know every project has problems, so how did you overcome problems? What's your how do you treat problems and how do you overcome them? And then lastly, and definitely not the least, and I would say the most important thing of a question like this is, talk about what the business benefits were and how did you track that. Now, if it's possible to say how you track these business benefits, great. But if not, at least talk about what the benefits to the organization were. So I would summarize, when you talk about a project, talk about the business problem, talk about your approach to the solution, talk about tools and technologies that you use, talk about any challenges and how you overcame them, talk about the business benefits and how did you track them. Okay.